The show is about to start. Places. The show is about to start. You have to show a look, have a look, or give a look. Faces. Beautiful. No one ugly allowed. Are you ready? Here we go. Fashion is the art. Designers are the gods. Models play the part of angels in the dark. Which one of you would ever dare to go against? That beauty is a trade and everyone is paid. Fashionista. How do you look? Fashionista. How do you look? New York, London, Paris, Milan, Tokyo. I think it's in Japan. Asia, Malaysia, Las Vegas to play. LA, if you pay my way. Fashionista. How do you look? Fashionista.
Good evening, and good evening. It is me, your anchor of excellence, Miss Morgan, the queen so nice they named her thrice. I'm so excited for this evening, and I know all you at home are excited as well. It is the Gay America Esquire edition. I am excited because the time has come. The Esquire pageant is coming at the end of the month, so make sure you tune in throughout the weeks that I'm there filming and doing all great stuff to showcase all the fabulous brothers of the Esquire division competing. But in true Morgan fashion, please hit that share button. The more people we bring in, the more people we have fall in love with the Esquire division. But let's dive right in because I know we have a lot to talk about. And without further ado, let's first start bring on a legend. Someone that's been in the system for quite some time, and now they're promoting for the Gay America Esquire division. Put your virtual hands together for Casey Sunshine. Hello, legend. How are you?
I'm good, baby. Come on, virtual hands. I love it.
Yes, I love a good virtual hands. I love it. The reason why I brought you on first is because I kind of want you to, well, hello, first of all. And I know everybody at home is loving you up.
Hey, everybody.
In my moment of Virgo-ness, I decided, wouldn't it be fabulous if you brought on your reigning right now? Would you mind introducing your reigning?
I would be honored because I only get to do this a couple more times.
Literally.
Before they step down. So everyone put your virtual live hands together. This is our reigning and our amazing Gay America Esquire 2025. Soon to be stepping down in just 18 short days. But welcome my first ever title holder that I got to be national promoter with, Christopher Inez Onyx.
Yes.
Hi, how's it going, everyone?
I got a little teary-eyed with that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yay!
I did get a little goosebumpy though. It's because you put in literally years of your time and your heart and so labor of love for the Esquire division, both of you, of course, but Christopher, it's something unique for you because you held this legacy for quite some time. So, or the crown, we'll say. So,
yeah, it's definitely been a fun time. 19 months is a crazy amount of time to reign for, but at the same time, it's been like, I love America and been a part of the system for a long time from behind the scenes. So to be the national representative has been such an amazing ride.
Yeah. Well, you both look absolutely fantastic tonight. The smiles are smiling and the eyes are popping. So real quick, in true fashion, I just want to make sure I tell all the viewers out there, because we're already at quite a few people watching, which is amazing. So those that are watching, if you have questions, I had the comments open. So please ask questions. They're here to answer your questions. Maybe probably not so much, but I have the two that have the answers for you. And also, if you haven't done it yet, please hit that share button, because the more people we bring in, the more people we have fall in love with the Esquire division, as much as your girl Morgan does. And you know she does.
Yes.
So why don't we just start in my fashion of my fabulous podcast? Let's get down to excellence. I want the viewers at home to get to know the both of you a little bit more. I know I've had an opportunity to have the both of you on quite a few times, which is a huge honor to me. So I feel like I already know you both a good bit, but I know they don't. So why don't we start off with you, Casey, and just kind of talk a little bit about where you were born, where you grew up, maybe a little bit about what got you into performing.
Yeah. So hi everyone. My name is Casey Sunshine. I've been in the art of performing drag, male, entertaining since I was 16. So this marks actually 20 years that I've been performing. I started when I was 16 after I came out at the youth center here in Kansas City called Passages. My first pageant was when I was 18. I won the title of Duke of Kansas City Pride. It was the Youth Royalty Court here in Kansas City. And ever since then, I've been performing and competing. I love pageantry. I was brought up in pageantry by old school queens. My wonderful drag mother in Kansas City, Desiree Love, may she rest in peace, trained me very well. And my drag mother, Gia, in Houston, also took me under her wing when I moved there. So I've had a very beautiful and vibrant upbringing in the drag, the LGBTQ community, and the pageantry world. And I got my start dancing Mexican folklore dancing when I was 4 years old, actually. My mom and dad enrolled me in a group we have here at Grupo Unico. So I've been doing traditional Mexican dancing since I was 4 years old, and it taught me all the foundations of professionalism, carrying my own bags, making sure that I had my costumes ready. So I'm very meticulous in that aspect. And that's literally due to, at 4 years old, mom and dad and my director were like, you better be responsible for your boots, for your dance shoes, for your costumes. So I'm that exact same way in now today's day and age. And so by weekends and by night, I am a drag performer and a national promoter. Monday through Friday, I'm a fourth grade teacher.
I love it. How many years have you been teaching?
I will be wrapping up my 6th year this year.
And you've always taught fourth grade, or is it, because I don't know, I forget how that works for you.
I have gone back and forth. Fourth grade is my bread and butter. I'm fourth grade right now. I've done 3rd grade and I've also done 5th grade. Love them both, but 4th grade, I mean, they got the innocence when it comes to their imagination and wanting to learn, but they do have a little bit of maturity there. So I can be like, work by yourself for 5 minutes while I help this other student. But I just love elementary grade. And these 4th graders this year have been one of the best classes that I've ever gotten to work with. They're just a really great class, and they make every day vibrant and different. And I always say that the best part about my job is every day is a new adventure. No day is like the last day.
And almost every day you do a fun little video, don't you, where you sing in the classroom?
I do.
Check it out.
Yes, every day I do my song of the day. Right now it's all about 80s and April 80s month. So all my people out there who are the 80s babies like I am, this is our month, and the kids are actually loving it. They really get into it. I've actually been showing them the artists, like music videos and live performances. So now they can tell you who Tina Turner is. They can tell you who Journey is. They can tell you, we learned today about who Wham is. And so it's always really fun for them to get like a little bit of a culture education in the morning.
Are they there when you're filming?
No,
well?
I film right before they get in, and then the song is on replay as they're entering the classroom, and we're just like high-fiving it and dancing it out in the class as we start. Today was Wake Me Up Before You Go Go, and those kids were like on the go, go, go as soon as they walked. They were like, this is a fun song. I'm like, see? Don't knock the 80s.
Listen to your teacher. Listen to the teach. So Christopher, and also Casey, you're live in Kansas City now, and you like born and raised, or?
Yeah. Born and raised in Kansas City. I lived in Oklahoma for a year during school, went to Oklahoma City University as a dance major, moved to Houston for a couple years and really got acclimated to like big Texas drag in Houston, and then moved back to Kansas City, finished up college, and been here ever since, and met my husband here. So we're still living here, and I'm actually in my parents' house right now because they've got good lighting.
The only spot is my kit. You should see. It's literally the kitchen is my. I need a studio. But anyway, I digressed. So Christopher, where you live in Arizona, right?
Yes, in Phoenix, Arizona currently.
And then where were you born?
I'm actually originally from Toledo, Ohio. So I'm a Midwest baby, but I have lived in, goodness, 6 or 7 different states in my almost 40 years of life. So I've been on both coasts and a couple places in between, but originally from Ohio. I've lived in Michigan. I've lived in Massachusetts. I've lived in California. I've lived in Washington State and Arizona.
So, I mean, I'm going to ask you a pageant question because obviously we're in pageant mode right now, but I'm just kind of curious too, because I'm sure it's not always easy as a child or just going along to different locations and kind of, in a sense, reinventing yourself. But do you feel like there's something that it's set you up for later on in life, like as far as in your shed?
Absolutely. For the most part, I think it allows me to understand different perspectives from people from all across the country, because living in the Midwest versus living on the East Coast versus living on the West Coast, those are completely different things. And I did all of those moves before I was 18. The only place I moved to out since I was 18 was Washington State. I lived up there for 6 months about before I moved back to Phoenix. But it just getting along with different types of people and being able to like understand where a person is coming from. And I can like look at you and be like, oh, like I could tell you got that because of either some trauma that you didn't had in life or what part of the country you come from. That's just how those people are.
Do you notice accents?
I do. And I tried very hard to make sure I have a very neutral accent. What I like to say, I speak broadcasters English. So I was a nerdy little kid who like would listen to like Dan Rather and Connie Chong and all of them and like tried to eliminate my accent as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. So how come were you ever inspired to do like the newscastery kind of moment?
I was actually just talking to someone about this the other day. When I was a little kid, funny enough, I wanted to be a sports broadcaster. That was like, I remember we were in the 3rd grade, we had to write a report and give a presentation as if we were had that job. And I wanted to be a sports broadcaster.
What kind of what sport would you?
I'm not good at any of them. So I'm a good cheerleader.
But we're screaming. Well, I mean, that's a sport show. They have the newscasters for the
cheerleading. But like I did play soccer when I was in the 3rd grade. So that was, and then I did track in junior high, but those were kind of like the only sporty things I ever did.
Literally same. Actually, I was a diver too at some point in my life. I thought I was so cool running around in my Speedo with the swimmers. I was the only guy, like the guy diver, so I was always with the swimmers. So it was a moment. So, and here I am today wearing a sparkling jacket, doing a fabulous podcast. So, Christopher, what was I was going to ask you something. So you moved around a lot. So what got into you into performing?
So I've been performing, I would say it feels like my entire life, like when I was, but like a different type of performance. I definitely did the plays and musicals and whatnot when I was in school, but I also, when I want to say it was like 4th grade, I started doing oratory competitions. So essentially you would have to memorize a spoken word thing, whether it was a poem, a scene from a play or something. And we competitively would get up and have to compete against each other. And you would have like the criteria. They would look at how well did you memorize it all? How much did you embody the character that you were trying to read that soliloquy or piece of poetry from. So that's kind of where I get a lot of my speakingness from, but like definitely doing plays and musicals in junior junior high, elementary school, middle school. So performance has always been a huge part of my life. My dad's mom, my grandmother, she was the choir director at church. So I grew up singing a lot. And like, it's just performing, you leave it up to my mom. Performing is something I've always loved to do. Even when there was no audience watching, I was still performing.
Is there videos that need to be dusted off?
You know what? If there are, I have not seen them. So I'm gonna say, as an '80s baby, it's like, thankfully, some of that stuff is locked away somewhere under lots of dust, never to be seen.
You know what I really love? We're all '80s babies, but we look like we're like,
baby,
we're fresh, honey. We are.
The skin is skinning.
The skin is skinning. It's the lighting. It's the lighting, I swear. So you know what? I do want to dive in a little bit more into talking about the Esquire pageant and being a part of MGA and a division off of it. We can definitely, I want to go back and get to know each one of you a little bit more as we go through the podcast, but I definitely want to start kind of scratching the surface of a little bit about what Esquire is and what makes it tick. So Casey, you've been a part of now you were a reigning, correct?
Yes. Yeah. I won the title back in 2022.
2022. And then, so did you just do a solid year, or was it kind of like Christopher where it was a little bit of a longer reign?
I did a solid year. 2022. Won in October, stepped down in October of 23. And so I had a quote unquote regular year.
Right. And I think it
I was an extra that time.
I think it was Gio that was next, right? Am I correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I was crowned by Christopher Iman, and then I crowned Gio, who then crowned Christopher.
And then Christopher's never giving up the crown. So, I'm going to ask you first, Casey. So what was your driving force to join on to compete to get your title? Like, what was your inspiration for that and joining on in the system?
Honestly, so the Gay America system was the first pageant system that I ever saw. Here in Missouri, Miss Gay Missouri is a very big pageant. I mean, we have several, I want to say like 7 to 8 city prelims. And I think it's gone up to as many as 12 before. So the Missouri system was the first prelim that I ever saw. So Gay America was like, it's very big here. And then I was actually getting ready to compete in 2017 for Entertainer of the Year. I had qualified, and my friends who were Miss Missouris and they were in the pageant system were like, oh, well, they're bringing back the male division of Gay America this year. It was the year that Asia O'Hara was reigning, and she brought it back in Dallas. They had 10 amazing contestants come out and win. And they said, you need to come watch. This is like the cream of the crop. Gay America is the blueprint. So if you're going to start competing, you need to see this. So we drove down to Dallas as a big group and supported it. And I was like, wow, like this is something else. So my first experience watching on the male division side was that big national, the 2.0 when it came back. As you know, it used to be All-American, and then it came back as just regular Gay America.
Yep.
So that was my first time seeing it. And after that year, they moved it to St. Louis, which is a hop, skip, and a jump away from Kansas City. So at the time I was working with the system that gave me my start, which was the Youth Royalty Court. And after they were won their titles, we would take them to see the Gay America National Pageant in St. Louis so they could, experience it. And then Mike and Rob at the time were really generous, and they allowed the kids to actually walk in the Nationals walk, being youth representatives, title holders. So it was so cool to get to go see them. And as coming out of the pandemic, the reigning at the time, Simba Hall, he came to Kansas City. I brought him here actually to be a guest judge for our youth pageant that year. And he was like, I want you for America. And one thing about him, kind of like me, you don't tell me no, you don't tell him no. And he persisted on it. And so 2021 was my first time competing. My goal was top 10. I had not a lot of time to prepare because, as you all know, coming out of the pandemic, we couldn't have the bar open shows to do benefits, and raising money was really scarce. Everybody was being real tight with their sponsorship. So I was like, I'm just going to do my very best and piece together some packages from my Entertainer of the Year and from my US of A that I competed for in 2018. And my interview actually carried me into the top 5 my first time ever.
So how many times did you compete? Twice, and then you captured the crown the second time?
Yes, I came back and I fell in love with it backstage. The camaraderie and the brotherhood, the sisterhood that came from the Miss title holders that were there supporting. Pataya was there and Susie Wong were there, and then so many other formers were in the building. I got to spend time with Asia O'Hara that weekend. It was just something about, as you all know, like there's an air of family.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not to say that no other system doesn't have that. It was just a feeling that I had not received in other systems competing. Whether that just be the vibe or the setting of it, something felt like home.
Mm-hmm.
America was my home when I was backstage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what kept me coming back. So after that top 5, and then working, with Christopher Iman that year, he came, to Kansas City for the Missouri prelim that year, and we talked more. And I was like, I'm coming back, brother. And so he was like, okay, I want to crown you. I'm going to challenge you. Meeting Dexter that year when she was reigning as Miss Gay America, and I had a blast with her at Miss Missouri. I looked at her and I said, I'm going to be your mister. I'm going to be your male, your husband. And then Dexter fetched the baby. All right, I'm going to hold you to that now. Don't play. And I got to marry her.
There we are. I think every single year I compete, I look at each and every one of the title holders for the Esquire division. I'm like, I'm going to be your wife. Did you know that? Like, I think I'm the only one that does it too, because I think it's just it's so endearing and fun. And it's just like, it's that family and it's just that camaraderie of the whole thing. So I totally get that vibe.
It totally is. Yeah, it was the family that brought me back. Literally on the plane ride back from Vegas that year, my husband looked at me and he goes, are we coming back? I was like, yeah. He was like, okay. And by the time the plane landed, I had already conceptualized my talent and what I wanted to do, the designers that I was going to work with. I knew I wanted all local designers and all local choreographers and dancers from here in Kansas City. And within a week, I had met with both my dance captains, and we were already formulating like mixes and everything. So it like, as soon as we landed, I was like, yep, pedal to the metal. Let's go. We got 1 year to prepare.
On a mission. Christopher, I'm going to slide over to you real quick. And I just want to see, so how many times did you compete before you captured the crown?
I competed. I did it on my first try.
Whatever.
And you're still holding on to the crown. I love it. So what was your inspiration for and your driving force to going into the Esquire division to compete?
So funny enough, similar to Casey, I was actually there that first year in 2017 when Mr. Gay America came back. Gio competed that year, and I was Gio's dresser, and I was also in Gio's talent. If anyone remembers Barney that came out at the end of Gio's talent, I was Barney in his talent.
Wow.
So there was several different reasons that got me to the point where I was like, this is the time. I know I'm ready. I can do this. It was that aspect of it, because this was the first year that it was coming back to Dallas and being back at the Rose Room. I'm really weird about like taking things as signs. And so the fact that Gio was the reigning, Gio had also crowned me as Mr. Phoenix Pride back in 2017, because he was Mr. Phoenix Pride 2016. I was like, he can crown me again. It's back on the same stage where I started this journey and loving and falling in love, because it was the first time I had ever been to a national Mr. competition. I'd been to a nationals before, but that was the first time for a Mr. So it was like, I'm feeling like this is the right time. It feels like I was like, they're doing something different with America. And I just feel like I would be a great fit at this point in time. And it's coming back to Dallas. Gio is there. Gio can crown me. Like all of that just played in. Arizona is a huge, America state. We love Miss Gay America here. And so I had a lot of opportunities to work with and just even meet a lot of the national Miss Gay Americas over the years. When I was getting ready for Miss Gay America the year that Ivy and Naomi won, I was like looking at the list of the formers that were going to be there. And it was like 18 formers that were coming out to the national pageant. And I was like, I've not met 3 of these Miss Gay Americas. And going back to competing against most of the guys I was with in 2024, I was like, well, how many Miss Gay Americas have you met? Most of them had only met one, maybe two at most. And I was like, I'm going into nationals. I've met 15 of these amazing title holders. So I had that. I was like, this is my family. This is home for me. This is this opportunity. The love that I've gotten from both divisions, now all three divisions, has been incredible, and it just showed to me that I made the right choice for my first nationals.
Were you the first crown title holder who was the three? Correct.
Yes.
It was you, Naomi, and
Ivy. Yes.
And that's something special in itself. Where
Yeah.
I call y'all my royal court, which it can now change. And but for just a little bit of time, you have a whole nother court right now.
Yes. So I will have the most Miss Gay America wives out of anyone ever. I will have 5. Yes,
That's
because
we're making a sash for you, period.
Yes. So I've got Desi, who I remember I was sitting in the back of the theater when Desi won. And I told myself, even in that moment, I was like, that's going to be my Miss Gay America. And I just will always remember that moment sitting in my head. But Desi, Ivy, Naomi, Tracy, and Anya are my 5 America wives.
Excellent. And then you bid them adieu.
I do. Divorce is impending.
It's so crazy that you and I were both at the 2017 to see our brother Kyle Haggerty. He did phenomenal. But that's so crazy that we're both there as it came back to the 2.0, and now here we both are again. You know,
and
every time you get chills.
Multiple guys who competed that year have gone on to win the national at that point. Now.
Yeah.
Did you both know each other then too, or it was now it's just kind of progressed?
It was a story when he shared it with me. I was like, "What? No way!" Like I was proud. I remember, and it was. I wasn't really fully in on the male pageantry because, like I said, I was getting for my first one ever. So I was like a little baby fish in a giant pond. I was like, there were so many. I was like, oh my God, there's Miss USA, there's Miss USA, and I was just like kind of starstruck. So when he told me that he was part of it, I was like, oh, the universe, crazy that we were both there when it resurged male division of Gay America.
I love. So Christopher, real quick too, because you were there for you competed 1 year, one and done. When you look back, was there anything that stood out to you as one of your like shining moments or something that you always keep with you? Because it was unique for you as opposed to other contestants who go back multiple times so they get an opportunity to work on their crafts and things like that. But you did it. But is there anything that stood out to you that you hold to you?
There's 2 things from opposite ends of the spectrum. The first thing is I have been doing pageantry since my first day on stage as Christopher. The first time I ever started performing as this character, I did a pageant my very first time. So I started off doing pageantry. I've won on stage question every single pageant that I've ever done. I've won on stage question.
Thanks to the news.
Yes, very that. And so it was the last year that we did on stage question, where as contestants, we got to read the question. And I am thankful for that because I knew, like, I feel confident when it comes to on stage question. So my thing that I knew that would set me apart from the rest of the boys was I was praying. I was like, please let it be a question that when they ask me this question, I immediately have an answer, because I wanted the effect of Dex going to hand me the question. I was like, no, I'll take the mic. And I got to have that moment because the question was, when it was read, I couldn't tell you what the question was. And I can kind of remember what I said in answer, but I was like, oh, I have got this. Thank you. Just give me the mic and let me go.
Those moments.
And I got a perfect score in on stage question. And it's actually what took me on to win the title as well. Because I was going into on stage question, I was second alternate. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, winning on my first try after doing a national pageant, I will say that it quickly was get on the phone with designers, get on the phone with other folks to get things together. So I'm very proud of myself. I did not repeat a suit at any point in time. I have purchased over 30 suits throughout my reign, and just little things like that where if I had been someone who had been competing for several years, like some of the guys, I think that my closet could have been a little bit more robust without having to dig in deep to my pockets throughout the year.
Sure. And Casey, you can definitely answer this as well. So, because two things I have, just to kind of go back to basics, because I'm always going to ask you the questions that everybody probably wants to know. So when you refer to contestants and other former Esquires, you say brothers, correct?
Yeah.
Brothers with an S?
Yep. Brothers. Okay. I mean, Christopher's also my sister because we're just, we're just that gay.
that kind of love. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely, like, those are my brothers, whether we've competed together, like even the boys competing this year, the Amazing Gentlemen and the Esquires coming this year, they're my brothers.
Yeah.
We're brothers in arms, brothers in camaraderie. The girls are my sisters too, and to be frank, I'm probably more of a sister than most of them. So
no lies there.
And then so then going off of that, so the contestants that compete, are they cis male, or is there trans men that compete as well, or how's that look for the contestants?
So on our male division, it is stated in our handbook that we accept and we invite all those who identify as male, whether they be cis, non-binary, or trans, as long as you are able to reign and be okay with a male title. We invite everybody, and that change was made actually on my step down year. The year that I was reigning, we had our first trans gentleman. No, I'm so sorry. The year that I won is when we made that change, and so we have had since 3 amazing trans males who have competed. We had one the year that I stepped down, that I won in 2022. We had 2 in 2023 when Gio won, and then we had another last year in 2024. So we invite them, and we know it's kind of a different ballgame because usually there's the MI and then there's the male. But we at the Gay America system, when it comes to the males, we want all those who identify as male to feel comfortable and invited into our system. I love that.
So then I have layers of questions. But Christopher, you were saying about suits. Yes. So for the viewers at home and the people that are listening, can you discuss talk about that? So obviously if we'll just say if you're comfortable as the male presenting title holder, if I'm saying that correctly, you wear your suits, but let's talk about the suits itself. It's not like you're just wearing there's some elaborate suits that I've seen throughout the couple of years that I've been keeping my eye on the Esquire division. So can you share a little bit about, because you said 30 suits, I want people at home to understand what you mean by that.
I mean, I've had very basic ones. I've had ones that have been a little bit more over the top. I've had embellished. I've had not embellished. I think the biggest thing when it comes to suiting is tailoring. Every single one of my suits have been tailored to some degree. That's the biggest thing because anybody can get anything off the rack, but creating that whole look, it means taking that time and investment. And I'm not beyond saying that some of my suits were extremely inexpensive, but then investing, I have a tailor that I go to that I trust with all my things. And so when it comes to getting those suits fitted and we go back and forth and play with it. And yeah, I think for me, it's not just about being male presenting. It's just, I always look at it as I'm a gay guy. As a gay guy, all the things that I do are what gay men do. So ultimately, the title is Gay America Esquire, and it's a male title. As a gay male, I don't know. I guess I don't necessarily feel like when it comes to masculinity that I need to put on the show of masculinity. I'm just I'm me. I'm who I am. And when it comes to contestants that are coming in, I was like, yes, this is a male title. So the individual that represents this title needs to be a man. But being a man, what that means to you is personal. And it's what that means to you.
Yes.
Thank you. And you said it wonderfully. Thank you for explaining that a little bit more for me as well. So it's still, I'm always learning. You always learn something new every day. And I love that because it just opens the door for all walks of life, you know, and I think that's what makes the America system so great too.
Definitely.
Is that it's just, there's no questions asked. We try and bring in as many people we can for the fun and the party of it all.
Yeah.
And then should you win a crown, it's an extra bonus, you know? So we're here. We are at pageant zone, ground pageant. As a promoter, Casey, what have you been doing this past year to prepare for now?
Saving money.
Okay.
Banking it,
Which is very important.
Hard.
There, pay attention, sponsors.
Lots of work, sponsorship. I am not the village. I am part of a village in the America family. So this pageant that is being put on, it do cost a lot of money, but I'm not going to be the one to say that I did it all by myself. I've had amazing support from our forevers on both sides, on all three sides. And the former owners, Mike and Rob, have been so wonderful. I have learned so much from them. I mean, there have been times where I'm like, I need help on a post. Hey, I'm getting a question from somebody. They were always right there to mentor me and make me feel like, you know, it's okay to learn on the job. Sometimes that's what you need to do. Yeah. Now, Monica Mitchell's, I'm so grateful that I got to know her before I took over as national promoter. I got to know her as a promoter while I was reigning. And so I got to see how well-oiled of a machine she can run. With her prelim at that time was Southern. And then when I stepped down, we worked together to put on the 2024 pageant. And that became a great friendship and working professional relationship. And now, like, she'll text me once a week, or I'll text her, how you doing, friend? Are you doing okay? She's giving me amazing advice. And so this year really has been not just, you know, on the finance side. Yes, I've been putting money away and saving and making sure that we have the money to bring everybody in for the judges and give Christopher what he deserves. But I've been learning. And I don't claim to have all the answers. If it's in the handbook, I know it. But I really have taken this year to learn and observe a lot of other systems and see what are they doing, what can we pull, how can we enrich and enhance ourselves, how can we continue to compete with the amazing other national systems that are out there, so that America is still looked at with that prestige. But, you know, like, we're keeping up with the times and we're not falling behind, but we are staying with everybody and making sure that we are also learning and being inviting. So this year has really been amazing. Christopher has done a great job. I don't know many other entertainers, many other title holders that would win and then literally be so open to the changes that we had to go through, and being on hold and kind of being in a gray area for a little bit when he first was crowned and won. And then as soon as we got the green light and everything, I mean, he took off, and I was like, okay, you got the public eye. I'll take on the backseat. I'm the administrator back here. Let me know what you need. The communication between us has been amazing. And, you know, I've gained a great, wonderful best friend, a lifelong brother. And I'm really excited to keep working with him even after he steps down.
And you can tell, and also I have to give Christopher some accolades as well, because I just feel like just a social media presence, or just being involved in as much as you do, and just, you know, doing your thing is just really cool and inspiring to see. And you did it for longer than your title, right? Or well, the title time. And then you can just tell that you were supported as well, because Casey obviously does a great job as well. And Casey knows the system too, which is also an extra bonus for you as well. So it's really just cool to see. And I'm still in awe that I get to even chat with the both of you now, because it's just like so cool that I see the both of you behind the scenes doing the grinding and doing the mingling and getting things organized and making sure you're presenting yourself as the Esquire that you are, you know. So it's really cool to watch.
It's been really amazing, and I have to give a shout out to our promoters. As you know, promoters are the backbone of any system. But the 8 amazing prelims that we had this year and the amazing promoters, the team, I think we had 15 total promoters, a couple pairs here and there. They were truly understanding, supportive. There have been promoters that have gone above and beyond, supporting, donating, making sure that the system stayed alive. So I love all of our promoters so much. I can't tell you what an amazing experience has been to work with them, and to really get their grace and their love. And then, of course, making sure Christopher had the reign that he did have. So we have 15 gentlemen coming this year.
Now, I know you've already mentioned it in this part of the conversation, but just to bring it back up, what do you personally feel makes a good promoter?
Oh, heart. I think a promoter is like the tech people behind the scenes. You're not going to be seen all the time. So you have to be okay with being a silent supporter sometimes. Mm-hmm. You have to be okay with who's on stage, getting the accolades and the credits, because people don't always look in the program to see who the tech people are. But I think it's also taught me to learn, like, I don't always have to be in the spotlight. As an entertainer, I was used to always being on stage. And so being a national promoter, being a promoter in any aspect, it teaches you that, it's wonderful to sit back and see your work as it's presented on other stages, in other people's light. And then I wish I could tell Christopher how many compliments I've gotten him on this whole year. But anytime I hear a compliment on my title holder, or any title holder in the America system, I just think it's because of these promoters. Mm-hmm. They make sure that we have a stage to be put on and to showcase our passion. Mm-hmm. So learning some humility is really great when it comes to being a promoter. My parents taught me a lot about that. And then being a promoter, you learn a lot about, like, it's not about me. I'm here to make sure someone else can go out there and do the work and be amazing. And I'm going to support them, whatever they need.
Mm-hmm. Very selfless. It's a very selfless title or role. Mm-hmm. There's also so many wonderful things that come out about it, which is what you're saying.
And shout out to the promoters who are in the chat right now. I see some of our promoters.
Yeah, I see them all.
They're in there. I think our Southern is in there. I think our Ohio promoter's in there. Cascadia and Monica Mitchell is in there. Hey, Monica.
So, Christopher, in your vision of a promoter, what makes a good promoter? As now not being done your reign, we're almost on your reign.
I think the thing that makes a good promoter, kind of similar to what Case said, but like, it's the passion behind it. It does take a very special type of person to say, I want to sign up to help other people achieve their dreams. And as someone who actually prefers being on the backside of things as opposed to being in front of things, I think really great promoters, it's almost like, what I want to say is, like, could be taken wrong, but like, it's almost like they get off on seeing someone else be successful.
Sure.
And being able to say, I helped support, I helped create and facilitate that avenue for someone to take their passions to the next level. And I think that we have some promoters who not only have stepped up for their contestants, but also have this year stepped up for other promoters to support them, to help support the system grow. And thinking and knowing that we have had promoters who travel to help out with other prelims and support other promoters, and not even just from our promoters that were within the pool from the Esquire side, but also promoters from the Miss and the Femme side who have really kind of said, like, whatever you guys need, however we can support. And I think that is what makes a great promoter, who someone who can see the big picture and how they fit into that big picture and want to make those things happen.
Yeah. We also have our fancy promoter, DC promoter, and our Texas promoters in the chat. So shout out to them.
Gang is all here. I love it.
The only ones aren't here right now that I haven't seen is our Kansas and our Arizona promoters, and we love them just as much.
They'll be coming through. They'll come through.
Right.
So and just so we can close the book on the promotership, well, we can still talk about it. But if someone wanted for next year to become a promoter, how can they do that?
So you can reach out to either one of us. And the promoter's franchise fee is really, really affordable. It's only $550. And we try to keep it low. That covers also the cost of your medallion for your prelim. So it's included in that cost. 2 tickets at the national when you arrive for the promoter and a guest. Or if there's 2 promoters, 2 tickets, 1 for each of them, and then it includes your ad in the national program. So I didn't set out to do this venture to quote unquote make a profit.
Mhm.
I would like to break even this year, so y'all come to the pageant on May 1st in Kansas City at Crown Center at the MPH Theater. But yeah, it's one of those endeavors that I want people to be able to support and be a promoter for the Gay America system for our males and to bring them in. So we are getting more interest, and the goal is to be able to have our Miss promoters and Femme promoters also have an Esquire division as well, and it be affordable. So you can have multiple divisions as a promoter and not be
Which-
broke bank.
Which, speaking of, we do have 2 promoters currently who have all 3 divisions, which we're super excited for. So our very first prelim for the new Esquire will be in June. If I'm right, it's the 4th. June 7th. Okay. June 7th at Southern. So Southern will be doing Miss, Femme, and Esquire. And then we also have Cascadia that also has all 3 divisions as well. So Cascadia was the first. This year they did all 3. And now we will have 2 going into this next year. And hopefully we can get some more. The really great thing that I love as far as changes that we did was, as the America system, like I talked about in onstage question, we're one big family. We're all now reading off that same sheet of music. So if you know and understand the scoring system for Miss and Femme, it's the exact same for Esquire. The only difference is, instead of gown, we have red carpet fashion. And when you break down those subcategories, instead of suitability of hair, it's suitability of accessories. Other than that, so I know, Casey, when you were reigning, you had was it Southern, I think, was your prelim, when you had to go through the orientation with Miss, and then you had to go through your orientation, 2 separate orientations. And now I was able to work with Ivy and Naomi, and like we just tag team and went through, because it was the same scoring system. It was the same weighted categories, and the expectations. The only difference is this is a feminine title versus this is a masculine title.
And either of you can answer it. Casey, you were talking about the handbook. It's in the handbook. Now, I know personally the handbook as the Miss Gay America handbook. Now, is there a spin-off of that, or is there a whole different criterion?
There is an Esquire handbook, and really the only differences, besides the categories that Christopher mentioned, a red carpet from gown, is going to be, instead of place of Miss or Femme, you're going to have the word Esquire. Everything is just male centered. It's pretty much, I took it, I worked with Mike and Rob, and did a Google find, turned it into a Word document, found the word Miss, replaced it with Esquire. So verbatim, it is word for word. So when the Esquire wins the national title, if there's ever a question of, are the males allowed to do this? Are the females allowed to do this? Because if it's a no for one, it's going to be a no for the other. Yeah. You know, female might talk about wearing pantyhose, but we talk about wearing dance belts. Like, they talk about covering up, so do we.
Yeah.
Same body parts, same things presented. So yeah, it's pretty much a mirror image. Just you're looking at a female title for the Miss and Femme, and then a male title for the Esquire division.
Okay, so if you're looking new contestants or returning contestants, make sure you get your handbook and start looking at it now, because in months there's going to be the first prelim for next pageant season. Yeah. That's amazing. Congratulations. Seriously, that's like a testament to the both of you, and you know, all the other people that are making this a well-oiled machine. But hats off to the both of you. So let's just jump into the pageant, because I'm even looking at I could talk to the both of you for like hours. But I do want to, what I would like to do, if it's okay, is there anything else that we want to talk about with the topics that we were going through already?
This is the pageant, baby.
We're doing the pageant. We're there. So Christopher, what's the theme for the pageant?
Yes, my theme is extra, extra black, white, and red all over.
And so what's the inspo for that?
I just wanted something. So I'm a part of the international court system. I was Emperor 14 of the Imperial Court here in Arizona. And part of my moniker was hashtag always extra. And so I was like, how can I pull that into me extra? Really? Who would have thought? But but I was like,
with the crown. He's the first male title with the crown. There you go.
but
Really?
extra. Yes. So it was extra. I wanted something bigger, and black, white, and red. Those are my colors. And I was like thinking about like, oh, we're Esquire now, so like Esquire magazine. So black, white, and red. So like it was all those like newspaper things. So it was like kind of like all those things. But the boys for presentation, for the last time in the America system, we will be doing presentation. But the boys were tasked with creating an avant-garde, over-the-top, fashion-forward look, and either using unconventional materials or taking conventional materials and making them into something unconventional. So I wanted to be something fun. And because we went from a 2-day pageant to a 1-day pageant, one thing that I'm really excited for is all 15 guys will get the chance to show their presentation. They will be judged, they will be scored. So all of their hard work into this category will be seen and judged. So it will not be for naught that they put that time and effort into that look.
Fierce. I love that you did because it's the ending of it, but you're also making it so grandiose too with the scoring for everybody, and just even the concept's really cool. It's like definitely Project Runway all over.
Yes.
I'm so excited. So so just for the viewers at home and the listeners, when is the pageant actually going to take place?
So pageant night will be May 1st. Oh, go ahead. It's your step down, child. Go ahead.
That's my dog. Sasha. But it will be May 1st in Kansas City at the MTH Theater in Kansas City, Missouri. And so we will be starting at 6 o'clock, not 6:01. We will be starting right at 6 o'clock. And we are planning to be done by 9:30. So we're going to run this ship.
Okay.
We have an extra part that starts at 10 o'clock at our host bar. So we're going to make sure we get our Esquire right over there to do their first crowning number.
Fantastic. So you have 15 official contestants?
Yes. 15 registered that will be there.
Do we have the contestant
Yes.
list?
I will, because I'm going to do it in their order of their contestant number, because they all have their contestant numbers. So let me
just give a little shouty outy.
Yeah. So we have contestant number 1, Q Dominican Sanchez. Contestant number 2, Artie Party. Our contestant number 3, Tyson and Rain. Contestant number 4, Jared Lance. Number 5, Christopher Cass. 6, Dino Station. Number 7 is JC Chaos. Number 8, Gabriel Ruby. Number 9, Sir Wesley Braxton Black. 10, Rick and Blaze. 11 is Mirage J. Cruz. 12, Andre Michaels. 13, Michael Knight Adams Iman. 14 is Ricky Braxton Lucky. And 15 is Ghost X. I'm so excited for all these gentlemen.
All 15. So, Chris, I have to ask you a question as well, just because I had a lovely opportunity this year to do filming at the America Week for Femme and Miss Gay America. And what was interesting for me was that when I was able to do the videography and interviewing for Femme, I felt like I was able to really hone in a little bit more on the contestants, because there was less contestants. And it was like so special for me. So for you, it's kind of, I feel like it would be the same thing, because there's 15 and you know who they are. You've gotten to be able to connect with them. And it's not like, which eventually I know Esquire is going to be tons and tons of contestants. Who knows? Maybe I'll even compete too.
Hey.
I mean, I don't want to be an EGOT. I want to be a full Miss, Femme, and
maybe I want to be the first. So I'm going against you now for that title.
Let's do it. Come on.
I'm good. I'm still
I just as Casey was reading off the list, it dawned on me. I was like, there's, and I don't want to say because it's going to sound bad to say it this way, but like there's not as many contestants as maybe MGA, but I think it's going to make it that much more special going into this because you've made a connection and no one's getting lost in the shuffle. Not saying that that's what's happening at MGA, but
no, totally. So my actual goal as a national promoter is to bump our prelims up to 10 this year. We just signed on, so we're excited to welcome Missouri Esquire this year. So we'll have a Missouri prelim coming this year. But my goal is to have at least 10, and not necessarily to go like big for quantity, but I really want to give 20 gentlemen and have 20 quality gentlemen who really are putting forth the passion and let the system grow organically from there. I know that, some promoters really want to get as many as they can. And I know when I was reigning, that was kind of the goal. But as a national promoter and working with the promoters, having 8 prelims this year, I really got to know our promoters on a very personal level. And being able to communicate with them was very easy. And so I want to be able to keep that and let it grow organically. So 10 is kind of my cutoff this year. I'm not looking to grow more than 10. Next year, I would love to have 20 gentlemen join us and go from there. But as a promoter, I really want to make sure that I'm giving my time to our prelim promoters and giving the time and effort that I can to those gentlemen who are qualifying and to my reigning. I don't want to be spread so thin so early on. Yeah. And so if we stay at 10 for the next couple of years, that's honestly where I want to stay in that sweet spot.
And like I said, there's nothing good or bad with having 100 contestants or 10 contestants. It's just, I just had found that I was able to literally learn a little bit more because you have a little bit more time to spend with each contestant. So shout out to the 15 contestants. Brava. I cannot wait to see them do all their fabulous excellence on stage. So we're at the pageant. We're there. We're in Kansas City. Can people view it? Can they tune in from home, or is it all just at the venue?
I would say stay tuned. We are in works trying to see what we can do as far as streaming. We have heard the public around the country, those people who want to support their contestants. So we're working to get something put together and make sure everything is finalized. But yes, please do follow the Gay America Esquire pages on Facebook and Instagram. Once everything is locked in and confirmed, you will get word of that hopefully in the next week. As far as the streaming goes, but in the meantime, you can come to Kansas City, and the tickets are only $25 through the MTH box office. The MTH is a great queer inclusive space. They do a lot of amazing productions there, and so they are doing so many. They're rolling out the red carpet for us, making sure that we have a great tech crew. We have Brian Menegay coming in from Ohio, bringing some of the Ohio team that have worked backstage at Miss Gay America for so many years. And then we have some Kansas City volunteers that are going to be here as well, working with them. So yeah, the MTH series, we're so excited to be with them. And they're making it very easy, taking care of all of our ticket sales through their box office. So tickets are only $25 and they do go up at the door.
Love it. So why don't we dip into the actual pageant categories as far as, because I know it's like I said for Miss and Femme, but I'd like to be more educated on the Esquire categories. Now, I know that the categories and the scoring is similar or the same, but except for gown. But let's talk. So we did, Christopher, you did talk about the presentation. Bravo to that too. It was so creative, and hats off to both of you for allowing every contestant to have an opportunity to get scored, critiqued, and all that on their looks. So I think that's just amazing. As a contestant vantage point, I think it's amazing. So after, do you know your opening number? You have your opening number. You must, right?
Yes.
Wait a minute, you better. But so is there any like sneak something you can tell us, or you want to keep it? You can still keep your cards close to your chest, but I kind of want a little.
What's funny about my opening production number is that as I was listening to the words of the song and how they kind of blend together, and I think about my journey, it actually like kismetly came together and really just describes my journey throughout the title really well. And it was not intentional, but it kind of is like my brain was just working that way, I guess, already.
Okay. All right. And we will leave it there for now.
Yes.
presentation looks come out. Judges are watching. Now, actually, I have to digress a little bit. Before all the hoopla of the spotlight and the stage and everyone doing their thing, what happens before that? The day before?
So the day before, on April 30th, we have our review show. We'll have orientation, introduction of the judges, and then we're having a review show on April 30th. Right now, we're looking to have about 10 amazing formers joining us, which is a great number. We've got a couple anniversaries coming to join us as well. And so we're going to have a review show at Missy B's. That's my homeboy where I'm show director on every Saturday. I'm hosting every Saturday. So they're opening their doors for us. And we're going to have a review show at 8 p.m. at Missy B's until 9:30. We have a sharp 9:30 cutoff because I want my Esquires back at the hotel in their beds by 10 p.m. sleep time. That's going to be on the 30th. And then bright and early, we start interviews at 9 a.m. on May 1st. That Friday, all categories will happen that day. Our judges, they're going to have their work cut out for them because we have amazing gentlemen and they have a full schedule, as do our awesome 15. And so 9 a.m. kicks off interview.
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Okay. Wait, 9 a.m. it starts, meaning you have to be there at like. Okay. Check.
8:30 call.
We are running a tight ship. We are running a tight ship this year.
9:30, you said. 9:30 p.m.
That show will end, and I will see everybody out that door. And if there are other contestants who are still there, they will get the boot for me.
Heard.
The rest.
I might have sunglasses on that morning at interview, but.
So, Christopher, so are you excited to be able to sit in and listen to the? Now, you've already you've sat in on other interviews?
I've sat in on all their interviews. I'm really interested to see kind of how they grow and that growth between their prelim and now. This is the first time I've ever sat in on every single interview from having a contestant class behind me, and there's just so many really great stories. I think that's what I love about America now. We've kind of moved away from the can you recite the last 5 Miss Gay Americas who did X, Y, and Z to like, who are you? Why are you the best fit for this title? What experience in life makes you most prepared? Because really just hearing these gentlemen's stories have been very impactful. And it almost like, it's like, oh my God, I just want to hold you now. So to see that growth, to see their growth, I'm really excited.
Cool. And this is going to be for both of you, but Christopher, since you're already going, I want to hear what you have to say first. Is there any words of advice or I guess a little gem that you want to give the contestants before or why they're preparing to do their interview coming up?
I would say take a deep breath. When it comes to your opening bio, give them the recipe, give them the ingredients, not the recipe. You're dropping those little things and relax because it's just a conversation where the judges are trying to get to know you. Mm-hmm. Don't come in so scripted where it feels like you're reading off of a sheet of paper or you're reciting something that you memorized. Be the person that you are going to be, but professional.
Right. You're the face for the year. Yeah. I agree. And Casey, is there any words of advice you want to give the contestants? For interview.
Yeah, I just say be yourself. As a national promoter, and this being my second time around, I'm really looking for someone to continue what Christopher and I started working together. So I want to see somebody who is poised, professional, but has a lot of passion. And like Christopher said, like, don't be a robot. Just be yourself. Let that conversation be very organic. Our 5 judges are going to be amazing, and I know they're going to find the best one for the job, but we also have a judges panel that I believe knows how to separate that like strict rigidness and can relax and have a conversation too. Cool. So I want the contestants to like, don't let the judges panel intimidate. They're 5 amazing people, and have a conversation with them.
And that's right. We're not allowed to know until the day of the
correct.
So.
Correct.
So if you put out there, follow Gay America Esquire on Facebook or all the medias. So this way you'll be in the now. I know I'll be splishing stuff as well, but stay in the now. Know who the judges are.
Yes.
So they did their interview. They get to rehearse, and when I say the brothers get to rehearse, and get themselves ready. So do you find that getting ready for the pageant for a Esquire contestant is less time, equal, or more than Miss and Femme?
Ooh.
I would say that it is like it's hard to compare. I think because
Okay.
even just within the division, if you're looking at Miss contestants, not two different Miss contestants could have two different ways that they prepare. I think about like even I don't know if you guys saw Ada Vox's post after Miss Continental Plus, and the amount of money that she put into it. Like, did she want to put on an amazing package? Absolutely. But it wasn't about how much money can I spend, it was about how can I put together something that's really clean and done very well. And so I don't think you can really compare an Esquire to a Miss or a Femme, because you can't compare an Esquire to another Esquire. What they need in order to get ready for the pageant are going to be two completely different things.
Sure. Do Esquire do the contestants wear makeup? Do they do anything for stage ready?
We asked them to. I mean, it is a stage, so like theater makeup, definitely. I think to piggyback on Christopher, every Esquire, every male is different. So depending on how much makeup you want to, what look you're presenting, if your talent calls for a character, you know, when I won, I was Michael Jackson. I did my Michael Jackson illusion, and that was about 2.5 hours worth of makeup that I got in. Whereas some of the other brothers who didn't do an illusion but came out as themselves, their makeup might only take 45 minutes to an hour, depending on what they present. So I hope that whatever they present on that stage, they know it's a professional theater stage. So yeah, that makeup better be looking right for the lights. They'll get to see it the day before, so they have an idea of, you know, what level of performance do I want to put on. But yeah, I think it's going to be different for everybody. And someone like me, I'm a diva. And like I said, when I landed after my first time competing, my planning started on that plane ride. And so everybody's is different. I just think as long as you have the same drive and passion, the time doesn't always matter, but you need to put forth that passion, that drive if you want the title.
Sure. So after presentation, then it will be talent, or is it all talent?
Yes.
Is it the same amount of time? I know it is. I just want to make sure I'm repeating. As it's
actually, no, we have a 5-minute time limit compared to Miss and Femme with 6.
Yeah.
Interesting. What is there a reason for that? The decision.
The first reason to come to it when we made that change after I stepped down was time limit on pageantry.
Sure.
You know, we wanted to get in and get out, but also if you're going to get to a talent, get to it. When you're traveling around, you don't have 7 minutes always at every venue. And so we want to see our gentlemen get to that talent. If it takes you 2.5 minutes to do a slow ballad intro before your talent, cut it down a little bit. If you're going to start, you know, doing the buckety, kickety, cackety 3 minutes into the talent, well, we just had to wait for 3 minutes to get into it. So it also is kind of a challenge for our gentlemen to say, hey, give the production in this amount of time. And also to save the money. You know, a 7-minute production takes more time, more rehearsal, more money, more costuming. So a lot of factors go into it: time, professionalism, bring it to the stage, and then, you know, cut the cost down a little bit.
I love it. No, I don't think it's. I actually enjoy the fact, because when, not to digress, but you're saying, okay, like 9:30 page is done, but it's the reality of it is if you're doing 7-minute talents and then you're doing the other things, it's going to add on the time. So it makes 100% sense. And I do like what you said about get if you're going to do the talent, just get to the point, right? Get to showcase yourself, and you don't necessarily have to build up for 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I love it. So Christopher, is there any advice that you want to give to the contestants about talent?
When it comes to talent, go out there and have fun. Make sure you're hitting your subcategories. I think that talent is can be the easiest or the hardest category, because folks can come up with these concepts that are beautiful and amazing, but they miss out on points because they're not really thinking about the subcategories. I feel like it's quoted a lot of times, but Asia O'Hara said when she competed for Miss Gay America that Miss Gay America was the easiest competition that she ever did, because those subcategories really just should be your guide and should be your filter on whatever idea that you have when it comes to talent. Because those subcategories, you can have a talent that is, you wind up getting a standing ovation at the end of it. But if we felt like there wasn't any originality in it, that's 25% of your score right there. And when you have a category that's 40% of your overall score, if you've lost 25% of those points for whatever the reason may be, then that category can sink you faster than anything else. So really think about talent through that filter of what are we asking for with those subcategories and what can you produce, knowing that that's your sheet of music that you have to read off of.
Contestants, you heard that. Look at the subcategories. Make sure you're checking the boxes before you get to Kansas City, okay?
And I would piggyback on that. Filter it through somebody who knows the system. As much as we love our best friends, as much as we love our sisters backstage who are like, oh, that's a sickening idea. So oftentimes people have great ideas and they're great for like a bar pageant. They're great for a bar number. But this is a grandiose national title. And I think sometimes our friends, our yes friends, when we need to be like, hey, let me call this former Miss or Mr. Let me call this former in the system and say, this is my idea. Here's a video. Can you look at it through the lens of the system as opposed to the lens of a friend? And it's a very different contrast. You got to be open to that critique. So I always tell my contestants as well, like, get someone who's in the system, who knows it, who has scored well in that category, and ask them to view it through their lens of the system. Because your friends are going not to be able to always give you the system advice that you need to hear.
Sure.
If they've never told you no, they may not be the person to go to for a yes sometimes.
So I'm going to be coming to the both of you when I have questions.
Yes.
Tell me the truth.
I have never steered anybody wrong. And the contestants that I have coached in the past have done very, very well. One of them is our reigning Miss Gay America fam.
Okay. Okay. So then let's talk about the formal. I do apologize. Is it formal?
Red
carpet fashion. So is it always going to? The reason why I'm asking this question is it always going to be red carpet fashion? The reason why I asked that is because of your theme, Christopher, with black, white, and red. So it's always going to be this as the
the title and my theme are unrelated.
And so are the walks the same as far as the 3-point walk, or do the contestants
90 seconds 3-point walk? Once you hit all 3 points and you're 360 degrees, then you are free to continue to model, and so that music fades out at 90 seconds. Your bio is read by our amazing host. So we very much mirror that Miss and Femme aspect of it as well. So
and I know Christopher was talking about tailored suits, correct? Does it have to? Does the contestant have to wear a suit, or can it be their version of?
In the handbook, it states that you must wear 3 items of clothing that, aside from accessories and undergarments. So I always use myself as an example just because I was gagged. When I made the top 5, I had pants, button up, and a vest. Did not have a jacket or a blazer. Okay. But I met the criteria of the 3 items of clothing that needed to be worn on the stage. Backstory of why I did it, things didn't come through on time. But I was like, as long as I have these 3 items of clothing, I can model the heck out of it and maybe make that top 10.
So that's the other piece of it too, is that it's all about the walk and the confidence, and
it's those subcategories, those subcategories that we're looking for. Okay. Now, yes, traditionally we want to see a 3-piece suit, but when we say red carpet, we're not looking for a suit. We're looking for, if this is the Morgan red carpet premiere of your show, what is a red carpet fashionable forward look that you would wear to that red carpet event that is in your name? If it is a 3-piece suit, make sure it's tailored to the T. If you're going to have embellishments, they need to be clean, appliques, beading, whatever it may be. But there should be an aspect of like Met Gala fashion forward with the red carpet fashion look of it, not just a 3-piece black suit.
dapper. It's got to be something that hits the point where it's like, and for my pride pageant here at home, we have red carpet fashion as a category as well. But I always say it is a fashion look, not a costume. And thinking about like embellishment, it needs to be tasteful and purposeful, not how many stones can I throw on something. Something can be fully encrusted stone. I saw in DC, we saw an amazing suit that was fully encrusted. So, but it was tastefully done. It wasn't just like, let me see how many stones there was a pattern to it. It made sense. It was executed impeccably. All those things, all those little details matter because those judges are looking at you from head to toe.
Mm-hmm.
Does the hairstyle you're choosing to wear, does it match the shoes? Does it match the garment? Does everything pull together a fully complementary look?
Mm-hmm. So is there, what are some of the accessories that the contestants can wear or utilize during their looks? I know there can be,
Yeah,
I think it can be anything from cufflinks to watches. If you have a necklace on, the accessories have to complement the thing, and it's not a moment where it's like, "Ooh, you should have had a Coco Chanel and taken one thing off before you walked out on stage," type deal.
Yeah.
Is it tasteful or is it overpowering? And it looks like you tried to put on as many things as you could. I think about like something like rings, for instance. Rings can be worn by males, but if you're wearing a look that is very standard, typical tux, that would not score the same well if you had a fistful of rings compared to if you had something that was more leather and kind of like tasteful grunge. Then you might be someone who can get away with some of those like types of things. So again, does it create a cohesive look?
Yeah.
Last question with that. What about like top hats or things like that? Like that's where my head goes. Like I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, as long as the accessories are complementing the look, for sure.
Okay.
We don't want to stifle anybody's creativity when it comes to this category, but reading that handbook, knowing those subcategories, and asking again, somebody who has been in the system, does this look America? Does this look like what they're looking for? We have an amazing brotherhood, and they were so amazing. I talked to like, I can't even count how many when I was competing, and I filtered everything through them. And they gave me great advice when I was competing. So ask those questions if you are unsure. And I err on the side of, if you haven't asked the right person and you have an inkling of like, maybe it's too much, probably is too much, But when it comes to that red carpet fashion, must be fashion forward. Foundation is a suit, and then embellish the fashion aspect. And we tell the contestants also, by this point, you're going to meet the judges already in an interview. They know who you are. So if you're very, very bubbly, and then you come out in a very somber, quiet walk in a dark color that just doesn't match what they got to know you as, that might play against you. So it should match your personality. It should match who you are.
Sure.
Absolutely. I think about that too when it's like there's a winning red carpet look. If you take that red carpet look and exactly put that on someone else, it may not be a winning look on that other person because it needs to fit the person that it's wearing as far as like aesthetic, energy, this, that, and the other. And I think that even goes back to interview. If you've got a loud, over the top personality and you come in a hot pink suit, that makes sense. But if you're someone who's timid and shy and a little bit more introverted and you come in with a highlighter yellow suit and with it's like, where do these things make sense? Like, where do these things match up? So it's like,
Fierce. I just digressed for a second because I was thinking about a highlighter yellow suit. I love it. No, I know what I was going to say. I'm so excited because I had the opportunity to chat a little bit with the contestants in our own little private chat because I wanted to get to know them a little bit more because I'll be there doing some filming and letting the viewers at home love Esquire as much as I do. But what was really cool is I got to watch their videos because I asked them all to do a little video that we're still prepping and getting polished out for that I'm going to air the day of orientation before the review show because I talked to Gio. Gio is going to be my help her and be a guest on that podcast day. So we're going to do some fun stuff and introduce all the contestants. But what I'm trying to get at is that each contestant has a different vibe, and I'm really, really excited because I don't know. I've maybe seen them a little bit on social media, but I'm excited because I want to see what they bring that showcases their authentic self. It's just really, I'm just excited, and they all have great personalities too. So I know that they're gonna knock it out of the ballpark.
Yeah.
So so then after they do the red carpet walk, it's each person gets a question, or are you going to do a top and then
we will cut to top 10 after red carpet fashion. All 15 will then go backstage, and that wait process while we tally the scores. They will all be invited back on stage, and then 10 will be announced for our top 10. Those 10, the same as Miss, will be taken to a secluded area where they cannot hear. They will all be given the same question and brought on stage to have that question asked for them. No paper, only a microphone with you, and we'll have our formers asking the questions, mirroring that Miss and Femme, inviting our brothers back to be part of our pageant. And so then we'll go from 10, and then we'll announce our top 5 finishing finalists for awards.
Fantastic. I'm so excited. And then Christopher, do you get to do awards as well? Like, do you get to,
Yes. So I will do all of my promoter and prelim awards at the beginning of the contest, right before we do presentation. Or is it right after? Somewhere around presentation.
when you do your opening number that you're not going to tell me about right now, but I'm so excited to see what it is. When it talks about your whole journey throughout the whole reign. I love it.
Yes, it's weird. I was listening to it, and it was just weird that was the case.
Oh, I love that. So I know that we're spilling over a lot on time, but I knew that was going to happen anyway because I adore you both, and I just want to, and I also want to make sure that those that are watching, whether it be contestants that are competing this year, or someone that maybe wants to join on, or promoters, or prior contestants that want to come back, or just the love of the system, I wanted to make sure that Esquire was talked about the way it should be, and in the fine details of it. And I want to make, and I'm going to actually turn it over to the both of you for a second. And I want to make sure that if there's nothing that I'm not asking, I want to make sure we're talking about that as well. So if there's anything that we haven't covered, I'd love for you to kind of.
Yeah. Well, for those coming to the pageant, first off, like, Morgan, thanks for having us here. Like, it's great to be able to talk about it and get out there. But we want to make it like an experience like Miss and Femme. And although it can't be a whole week, it can be a whole weekend. So in welcoming our reigning court, Tracy and Anya, on Saturday, that next day, they're going to be featured in the drag brunch at Hamburger Mary's here in Kansas City. So all the promoters, if they're staying in town, the gentlemen who are staying in town can go see and enjoy them. We will be taking our newly crowned Esquire there as well. However, he's going to start working that morning. We got a photo shoot already lined up and planned, getting that crowning lug taken care of the day after. And then that night, Saturday, for my Sunshine Saturday show at Missy B's at 10 p.m., it will be an all-America crowning show.
Fun.
So we're going to keep all of our court. And then Christopher also will be there, getting to do his first show as a former.
Yes.
Yes. Like, Saturday, we're going to cut up. We're going to have a good time on Saturday. And the goal was just like, I want to feature our gay America family here in Kansas City and roll out the red carpet as much as I can. Let them experience our bars, our shows, our crowd. Kansas City is an amazing city right now. So we really want to make it a weekend of experience. And so I'm really grateful that the gentlemen are going to be here, and we will be making sure the room is taken care of the next day for our Esquire, whoever wins. But yeah, that Saturday, we're not stopping on Friday night. Like, we're going to go Missy B's for the after party and enjoy ourselves. But he's got work the next morning, and so do Anya and Tracy the next morning at brunch. And then that night, we all get to come together as an America family and do a full show. I'm only casting America family in that Saturday show. So it'll be a time to just celebrate our amazing system.
Love it. How about you, Christopher? Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you want to bring up?
I mean, no. The one thing I did want to say is just, throughout my reign, you've had me on several times, and I just wanted to say thank you. As a male title holder who's been around drag for almost 20 years now, oftentimes the misters, the males, we kind of get forgotten when it comes to like, we're good to be great arm candy. We're good for being there to escort individuals when it comes down to that. But the one thing I love about my reign and individuals like you, the America family has treated me no different than they treat the Miss Gay America and the Miss Gay America Femme. You've been there and supported me. We met before I ever won. We met that year when Desi was competing, when you were competing as well. So you've always held all the divisions with the esteem that they deserve. So I just want to say thank you to gentlemen who are out there thinking about the America system. I can tell you from experience, the America system treats all of its title holders on equal level playing foot. Michael and Rob, throughout my 2 years of being at the national pageant for Miss Gay America, completely rolled out the red carpet, never made me feel like I was any different than their girls. And it's just been an amazing experience overall. So thank you, America. Thank everybody just for making this such an amazing and wonderful experience.
Well, but you also, what you put out as well is what attracted back to you as well. So you got to give yourself that moment too, because you're an absolutely doll and so approachable and so fun to be around. So thank you for having an awesome, what is it, 19 months reign?
19 months to the day, October 1st, 2024, May 1st, 2026.
My birthday. That was my birthday.
It was your birthday.
I love that.
Yes.
So I just, a couple quick questions, and then I'm going to just ask the both of you to tell me your meaning of excellence, and then we'll bid the world adieu. So Christopher, I just wanted to see if I was picking that up correctly. Are you wearing the first crown for Esquire division? Like
for the male division, yes, I'm the first one that received a crown.
Yes,
but
we'll continue.
And so the medallion.
Mm-hmm.
What's the meaning behind having a medallion? Because I honestly don't know that. Like, I know it's a beautiful piece of jewelry. But I know that symbolizes the male division.
Yeah, I mean, most systems have one, both, or one or the other, or both. I think that just having both is super awesome and super cool. Like the misses, they get a crown, and why did I just forget the word of what it's called?
The scepter.
The wand.
The scepter. And so the boy, and it for me, it gives me a lot of options. I will say this is the first time I've had a crown that is lighter than the medallion, because my medallion weighs 1,000,000 pounds. It is the largest male national medallion, but just having a crown that is super easy to pop on and go, and also complement the Miss and Miss Femme, has been great.
Yeah.
And then also, Casey, I just wanted you to do me a huge favor. Can you showcase your T-shirt for the viewers at home that they can see the symbol of the Esquire?
Yes.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So we created this when I took over as national promoter, and we became the Gay America Esquire system, the male division of America, and we wanted something that showcased our gentlemen in a regal and royal way. So with it, you see the E on the medallion itself. The bow tie is kind of being classy. Wings kind of going with how America, the Miss has that symbol that kind of has the back of the wing. So that's our nod to our Miss and our Femme side, flanking either one. And then, of course, the crown. And if you see the crown, it has 3 jewels, which represent our 3 divisions of the America system. So that was unintentional, to have 3 jewels for our 3 gems of the America system. And so we wanted something like, that we could still put on a symbol, still put on a brooch, but something that really represented kind of the new age of Gay America. And then with the crown being on Christopher's head, now it felt very fitting to have both the crown and the medallion in our symbol.
So this year, who is making the jewelry for the winner?
So again, as we follow suit, we are so excited to welcome Aaliyah's Closet into our America family. And so they have also now coming in as our Esquire division, creating the medallion and the crown. So all of our medallions will be very similar to our Miss, and the same make and the same shape, the same concept going into them. And so Elias Closet, our Fisher Jewelers, they will be at Nationals with us. They just sent me pictures today of the crown and the medallion. They're being sent to get gold plated. So it'll be gold and AB.
Yes.
So when it comes to our Miss Femme and our Esquire baby, gold standard of excellence is going to be reigning.
All the way. Fun fact, Monday, April 27th, think when I come back? Is that when I come back? No, I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
That's the Monday before.
Right
Yes,
before you leave.
before I leave, I have them on my next podcast along with Sonia Diaz. I'm gonna have the best kiki with the both of them.
They're amazing. I got to meet them officially. I've been talking with them since they joined the America family, but I got to meet them a couple weeks ago at Miss Game Missouri America. And they're an absolute joy to work with. Their products are beautiful. They're just wonderful, wonderful people, and I'm really excited to welcome to the America family. And they've been great to work with.
Love. I'm excited. I'm excited to see everything unfold.
Yes.
And I know everybody at home is going to say and follow us all, and they're going to stay in the now with the Esquire pageant. So
Absolutely.
So in true Morgan fashion for Let's Get Down to Excellence, my guests, I always ask, can you please tell me your meaning of excellence? Because the meaning of excellence is different for everybody. So
I'm gonna go first because then I want Christopher to answer his last Q&A. So E is for energy. X is for.
I love it.
I don't know about it. Honestly, when it comes to excellence, I can speak to the family aspect of America. The excellence of our system comes from our family, our promoters, our forevers, those who keep coming back to our system. They just exude an excellent energy. And that's what kept me coming back to the system. That's what got me interested in the system. That energy of camaraderie and knowing that we're all working together to exude excellence in our prelim areas and our regional areas. And I think the best thing about this excellence in our system that we speak about is we all have it. We're just showcasing in different ways in different regions. And being that we are all competing, I never have felt like we're competing to see who's better at having excellence. We're competing together to showcase that excellence. And one of us is going to win and walk that national walk for the whole year. But we're all still exuding that energy and that camaraderie of what really excellence truly is.
Well, thank you. Christopher, am I supposed to ask you this like you're on stage, last interview question, or are we just diving in? No, I'm just kidding. Please, Christopher, tell the world out there what your meaning of excellence is.
So my meaning of excellence is not settling for what is okay, but striving for something better. I think that folks who exude excellence, they're always seeking to better not only themselves, but the people that are around them. An excellent individual never wants to be the smartest person in the room, because if you're the smartest person in the room, it's probably you need to be finding other rooms to be a part of. Excellence is really just always looking for how you can better yourself, how you can better people around you, and not settling for the okie doke.
I love it. Well, thank you.
I love that.
I love you both. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy days, because I know as we are approaching the big day, it's getting crazier and crazier for you both. So thank you so much for spending the time with me, your girl, Morgan. And normally I bid you both adieu and then say goodbye to the viewers, but this is all about you both tonight. So would you do me a huge honor and say goodbye to the viewers at home with me?
Sure.
Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Tune into Esquire May 1st.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.